Check out FlipsideGaming.com for all your gaming needs. Use the promo code HEROES to save 10% on all orders over $10. Hey there, this is John from Heroes and Legends, and we are back. It is 2023. Welcome to the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. Here we're going to be talking about the cards that are going up in value this week across the board in the world of Magic, and we have a lot to discuss. There was a pretty big leak this week around Phyrexia, All Will Be One, and we're not going to talk about the details of the leak throughout the video today, but there are some examples of cards that are moving up, maybe in part because of the information that came out, so I will let you know that as carefully as I can to avoid spoilers. Also, too, now that it's 2023, I promised some changes, and these videos are going to be a little quicker, a little snappier. We're not going to talk about cards going down in value in these videos anymore, but in the future, you are going to see something that will talk about those. So stay tuned for that. We're not going to discuss cards from Unlimited, Arabian Nights, Antiquities, or Legends in these videos anymore. So I felt like we were talking about the same cards every week. They'd go up, they go back down, they go back up again. We're going to omit those, and if there's anything worth talking about, I'll do those in a different type of video in the future. So now that you're aware of some of the changes, our threshold is still going to be $2. We're not going to talk about any card this week unless it's moving at least $2 up or down. And one last thing, we got to keep the lights on, so a couple things. I do want to thank everybody who gave super thankses over the holidays. So everybody you see on the screen, they did give a tip through YouTube, and that's always appreciated. It's never expected, but always appreciated. So thank you to all of you. It really does go a long way, and it has helped me make some changes to the channel, which you're going to be seeing this month and in coming months as well. And as always, you can go to FlipsideGaming.com and use the Heroes promo code to save 10% on orders over $10. Currently, you can pre-order Dominaria Remastered products there, and you can also pre-order Phyrexia All Will Be One products there as well. Plus, they have a whole lot of other things on their website. Remember, if your order's over $100 or consists only of singles, shipping will be free in the United States. Also, whenever you use the Heroes promo code, it does support the channel, which is always appreciated. So thank you. And without any further ado, let's get into it. We're going to begin this time with the Pioneer Legal Spotlight. Don't have anything for the standard Legal Spotlight. Not too surprising, though, because everything's about to change with Phyrexia All Will Be One. So things are kind of quiet when it comes to the standard format. But we do have some Pioneer cards moving. Let's take a look. Scape Shift, this is the copy from Core Set 2019. It goes up 209 this week to 2550. In Modern, this is an Omnith Locus of Creation builds, but this is seeing more Commander play now in land-centric decks, including a build around a new popular card, Titania, Voice of Gaia. Also, I mentioned at the top of the video that large Phyrexia All Will Be One leak. Well, there was a card that was shown called Conduit of Worlds that could be pushing this as well. Darksteel Forge from Double Masters is up 209 this week to 3396. The Darksteel copy of this is actually moving down quite a bit this week, but this one's still moving up. Obviously, this card took off in Commander with the release of the Brothers' War. For example, you see this used as an upgrade to Urza's Iron Alliance, and it is in fresh builds around Urza Chief Artificer from there, but you'll find it in other new decks too in the format. Plus, if you saw those Phyrexia All Will Be One leaks, you know this, but there's more artifact support there too. Next, we have Urborg Tomb of Yawgmoth. This is the copy from the list. It goes up 235 this week to 4128. This is in the very successful Rakdos mid-range Pioneer builds, among other decks there. In Modern, this is in Yawgmoth and more. Legacy, it's in Golgari Sultai Depths, as well as Curses. And of course, this is a highly played Commander card in many decks, including a popular new one, Ash Coat of the Shadow Swarm. That's a card from Jumpstart 2022. This was also mentioned on the Command Zone podcast recently as one of the cards they'd like to see reprinted in 2023. Could have brought some more attention to it. Neheb the Eternal. This is up 252 this week to 2590, and this has been seeing increased Commander play now in Mishra claimed by Gix builds. Also, there's a chance this card sees more play with a card that's already been officially previewed from Phyrexia All Will Be One. The card is Koth, Fire of Resistance. Next is a card a lot of people were discussing during our downtime through the holidays. This is Drannith Magistrate. It goes up 276 this week to 1413. So this does see some modern sideboard play to deal with Underworld Breach strategies, but recently there's been a lot of conversation around whether this card should be banned in Commander. It does appear in many builds there, and many are arguing that the card should be banned in the format because it does stop all opponents from casting their commanders out of the command zone. The controversy led to more attention for the card, and even though, who knows, maybe at some point it will be banned, it is moving up in value right now. Anointed Procession from Amonkhet is up $276 this week to $40. It's a big commander card. It is seeing more play in new builds like Myril Shield of Argiv, and it's in builds around a Jumpstart 2022 card too, Preston the Vanisher. Plus, on top of that, we saw a number of cards in that big Phyrexia All Will Be One leak that create tokens, including one called White Sun's Twilight. That one in particular could be pushing this quite a bit right now. Also, the new Phyrexia All Will Be One front-facing commanders were leaked in a separate, smaller leak, and now we know that this might be a good upgrade to one of those decks as well. The front-facing commander for that one is named Niali Sun's Vanguard if you want to look it up. And beyond all of that, this was another card mentioned on the Command Zone podcast as one of the cards they would like to see reprinted in 2023. And the last card in this section is Orvar the Allform. This is the copy from the list. It goes up $3.90 this week to $17.99. This has been seeing play in modern sideboards since it is good against Archon of Cruelty and the Indomitable Creativity builds. This is also a fairly popular commander. And that takes us to the Modern Legal Spotlight, where we look at the Modern Legal cards moving up the most this week. Let's see what's happening. We have Earthquake from Portal Second Age. It goes up $222 this week to $802. So this copy with unique art is hard to find in high grade online. Earthquake is in a number of commander builds. It's even in a new build around a Jumpstart 2022 card frequently. Anti-Blight's Bad Influence. 2 weeks off and I can't get away from Gemstone Caverns. The Time Spiral copy is up $207 to $53.99. The copy from the list is up $284 to $44.03. The card continues to see more modern play. It's in Crashing Footfalls and more there. It's in a variety of commander builds too. Linvala, Keeper of Silence. This is the one from Jumpstart. It goes up $296 this week to $18.69. This is a popular commander angel in a number of builds, including Giada Font of Hope. It is worth noting that the leaked front-facing commander of the other Phyrexia All Will Be One commander deck is an angel. Its name is Ixhel, Descendant of Atraxa. And another angel, Avacyn Angel of Hope from Iconic Masters. This goes up $320 this week to $52.81. And who knows, this might be a good upgrade to both of the Phyrexia All Will Be One commander decks since they both contain white. Currently, though, it is a popular commander angel in builds like Giada again and Kalia of the Vast, for example. Hellish Norn Grand Cenobite. This is the one from New Phyrexia. It goes up $328 this week to $29.69. Okay, so a new Hellish Norn has already been revealed officially to be in Phyrexia All Will Be One. The card's called Hellish Norn Mother of Machines, but this original copy of the original is moving this week. It may play well with some of the cards we saw in that big Phyrexia All Will Be One leak, as a matter of fact. And I do think this might be a good upgrade to the leaked commander deck led by Niali Sun's Vanguard. But overall, this is already a big commander card, and it has been seeing more play recently in those Myril Shield of Argiv builds. And the last card in this section is Crater Hoof Behemoth. This is the one from Jumpstart. It goes up $372 this week to $35.75. This is in Legacy Elves, which is a popular build. It's also in 5-color Zenith there as well. It is also another card that sees a lot of commander play, seeing more now in builds around Titania Voice of Gaia as well. And again, Phyrexia All Will Be One leaks could be having an influence here too. I'm going to go into a little more detail about the leaks, not a lot, but if you want to skip to the next section to avoid spoilers, you can do so now. From what we saw, it appears that baked into the set, there is a go-wide strategy with small creatures or tokens that can give poison counters. If there's enough power behind that strategy, a card like this could become a win condition for those type of builds in the future. In fact, there is a mechanic called Toxic that says if the creature does combat damage to a player, that player also gets a poison counter. But beyond that, we also saw the Battle Cry mechanic is returning, and some of those cards could work really well with Crater Hoof too. Welcome to the Eternal Spotlight. Now, this new segment is a salute to all the rest of the formats, but mostly Commander. Not all the cards in this section are necessarily legal in all Eternal formats, obviously, but they're not standard Pioneer or Modern legal cards. You're not going to see those in this section. So let's jump in. The first card ever to be in the Eternal Spotlight is Gilded Drake. It goes up $213 this week to $276.11, small percentage increase. It is a solid commander card though in a number of different decks. Deflecting Swat up $278 to $66.70. Now you do find this in many different commander builds running red, including a popular new one built around one of the Transformers cards, Slicer Hired Muscle. This is also another card mentioned on the Command Zone podcast as one of the cards they would like to see reprinted in 2023. Another small percentage increase here with Mox Diamond from Stronghold. It goes up $304 this week to $620. Popular legacy card in some different lands and now initiative builds. It also shows up in a variety of commander decks. Lion's Eye Diamond up $327 this week to $489.99. This is a popular legacy card in Doomsday and much more. Vintage, it's in Oops All Spells, plus you find this in a number of various commander builds, including at times in Slicer Hired Muscle again. The Ur-Dragon from Commander 2017. This only comes in foil. It goes up 338 this week to 8528. The Ur-Dragon continues to be the most popular commander for Dragon Tribal, plus it is in the 99 of some Dragon-centric builds there too. Ancient Tomb, the copy from Ultimate Masters, goes up 341 this week to 7683. It is a big mana-based card in Legacy and Vintage. You do see this in the popular mono-white initiative builds in both of those formats now. Plus, sure, this is in tons of commander builds, including Slicer Hired Muscle yet again. And this was another card mentioned on the Command Zone podcast as a card they want to see reprinted in 2023. Goblin Welder, the Commander Anthology Volume 2 copy is up 236 this week to 1991. The Urza's Legacy copy is up 343 to 2399. In Legacy, you see this in Painter, but it is another card that was pushed in Commander by the Brothers War. It is found in a number of new builds there now, and it's a good upgrade to Mishra's Burnished Banner, and the fresh builds around Mishra Eminent one from there. Mana Crypt, the Eternal Masters copy is up 355 this week to 199.97. This is in a lot of vintage builds, including Mono White Initiative again. It is also found in a wide variety of commander decks, and it is a good upgrade to the Heads I Win Tells You Lose Secret Lair commander deck, which finally got into players' hands not too long ago. Sarah's Sanctum, this is up 379 this week to 289.68. This is in Legacy Enchantress, and many times you see this in enchantment-heavy commander decks. Wheel of Fortune, this is the one from Revised, up 420 this week to 307.50. Solid commander card in a variety of builds. Edgar Markov from Commander 2017, another one that only comes in foil. This goes up $12.04 this week to $90.86. It is the most popular commander for vampire tribal builds out there. Badlands from Revised, up $12.13 this week to $413.35. Overall, these revised dual lands have stabilized and in some cases have been moving up. When it comes to gameplay, they are highly played in all formats where they're legal. Benevolent Hydra of 1577 to 2475. Now, this is still trying to find its price point, being a new card from Jumpstart 2022, but it also was the target of market manipulation earlier in the week, so the price will most likely keep settling back down to its correct point pretty soon. It is also getting a good amount of commander play though, so keep that in mind. It's in Gargo's Vicious Watcher builds, for example. It's also in some builds around another Jumpstart 2022 card, Rinaldi Behemoth Caller, and it was mentioned in a Nitpicking Nerds video this week as one of the commander cards most worth buying right now. Another revised dual land here with Taiga. This is up 1710 this week to 391.99. And one more, Plateau from Revised, up 1924 to $339. And our last card today is Mycosynth Lattice from Darksteel. It goes up 1944 to 68.46 this week. In Legacy, you see this in Bomberman and Curse's sideboards. It's also in some vintage sideboards like Paradoxical Outcome. Recently, though, the Brothers War did push this in Commander 2, and you see it in a number of builds around cards from there. It's a good upgrade to Urza's Iron Alliance, and in fresh builds around Urza Chief Artificer. As of recent, it's been seeing even more Commander play now in decks around a Jumpstart 2022 card, Kibo Uktabi Prince. And that is going to do it for this episode of the Magic the Gathering Market Watch. Like I said, these videos are going to be a little quicker, a little snappier than they were. I want to try to keep everybody with me as much as possible through these videos, cutting out things that are maybe a little niche that only certain individuals were interested in. But don't worry, because that information is going to come in different ways. I'm working right now on some shorts templates so that I will do a short weekly where we look at the cards going down in value. And if there's anything interesting in the world of premium cards, I'll put that out as a short as well. So look for that content in the future. I don't want to leave anything out that we used to discuss, but in some cases the way I present it is just changing. Until next time though, thanks for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, and have a great day. Hey, thanks for watching. This video is made possible through the generous support of viewers like you on Patreon. Check out the description below for links to our Patreon page as well as our Amazon affiliate store, where a small percentage of all sales will also help support the channel. Finally, if you haven't had a chance yet to subscribe, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any of the new videos on Heroes and Legends. Talk to you again soon, and have a great day.